Why would you invest in a pension now? If you're in your 20s or 30s, you're probably not even thinking about retirement. It seems like a very, very long way away. And you're right, it is.
However, there are some really good incentives to start investing in a pension early, and reducing your tax bill being the main one.
In this video, we're going to look at the benefits of contributing to a pension and why it should be part of your overall investment strategy.
I'm Steve.
I'm Cian.
And this is the Learnings Report, a show where we make investing accessible and understandable for everyone.
This week, we're looking at pensions in Ireland and the benefits of contributing to one.
Let's get it. And what is a pension? Well, a pension is kind of like an investment account for old age. And old age is after 60. Basically, a pension is a fund that you contribute to throughout your working career, which will provide you an income once you retire. Although this might sound like regular investing in stocks and shares, there are some key differences.
Let's start with the pros. First is the tax incentives. Basically, it's in the government's interest for you to contribute to a pension fund rather than be a burden to the state, and hence why they have started a lot of tax incentives for people to contribute to a pension fund. We'll be going into more details on these tax incentives later in the video. Secondly, a lot of employers offer matching contributions to the contributions that you put in. This could be below the amount you contribute, the exact same, or even more than what you contribute. It's definitely worthwhile taking up this offer if it's available to you, as it's essentially free cash. Number 3, you can invest in a variety of asset classes. So this could include cash, bonds, shares, or properties, for example. Some pension providers allow you to choose your investment strategy, although how granular you can go depends on the provider. Generally speaking, pension providers offer you an investment strategy depending on your level of risk tolerance. So this can be from low risk to high risk.
But of course, there are some cons to investing in a pension, and the biggest is that you usually wouldn't get access to your pension funds until retirement age, and that could be from anywhere around the age of 60. So for those looking to reach financial independence earlier than that age, a pension fund might not be the best idea because of the fact that your funds are locked up until this age. It is worth flagging that your funds aren't totally inaccessible if you put them into a pension, but if you do decide to withdraw the funds earlier than the retirement age that has been agreed upon with the pension provider, you will get penalised as a result. By withdrawing your funds early, there may be tax back that you need to pay, you may lose some of your employer tax contributions, and a number of other things, so it is really important to be aware of this if you do decide to withdraw your pension funds early. And then a second con of pension funds is, of course, that you do need to pay some fees to manage the fund. Annual management charges of pension funds can range from anywhere between 0.5% to 2% annually. In contrast, this is relatively more expensive than, say, investing in ETFs, which sometimes have an annual expense ratio of about 0.07%.
And just to highlight that there are a number of different types of pensions that you may hear about, and we're going to clarify some of the main ones that you'll come across. So the first one that a lot of you would have heard of is the state pension that is provided by the Irish government. Most people receive this pension, however it is means tested and is dependent on your PRSI contributions. This maxes out at around €13,000 per year, which is basically about €1,000 per month. And for people watching this video, most likely you will only receive it when you turn 68. For many people, this €13,000 will not be enough to cover your living expenses in retirement, and hence why people often need additional income. The second main pension type that you may hear of is a PRSA, and this is a personal retirement savings account. Basically, anyone can set up a PRSA and contribute to it. PRSAs are quite flexible. You can increase your contributions, decrease your contributions, or stop your contributions, and you won't get penalised for this. PRSAs are also quite portable, so you can take a PRSA from one job to another without getting penalised. There is a standard PRSA and a non-standard PRSA. With a standard PRSA, your charges are capped, but your funds are pooled and you have less flexibility in what you invest in. For a non-standard PRSA, your charges aren't capped, but you have more flexibility in what you can invest in. And number 3 is a company pension. This can often come with an employer contribution plan. And this basically means that for any payments that you make into the pension pot, your employer may match some of these contributions. This match can be below, at the same level, or above the contributions that you make. The company pension plan is optional, so if you don't contribute to it, you will not get these employer matches. However, if you do contribute to it, it's basically free money.
So this might sound all well and good, but remember, there are a couple of things you need to be aware of when investing in a pension fund versus, say, choosing to invest in your own private investing account with DeGiro, Revolut, or whoever you're using. A pension fund might not be the best idea for you personally, especially if you need access to those funds in the near term or the relative near term. As with any investment strategy, it's all relative to your time horizon and your investing goals. In contrast to a pension fund, investing in stocks, ETFs, etc. offers you a lot more flexibility. You can still let your funds grow for decades like they might in a pension fund, but if you decide to withdraw those funds or sell them at any point, that's fine and you don't get penalised for it. As we've already mentioned, investing in a pension is really targeting that time period after you retire, so around 60 years of age onwards. So generally speaking, it's likely recommended to both contribute to your pension, especially if your employer is matching those contributions, but at the same time also do your own investing through stocks and shares.
And now, let's talk about the tax incentives of investing in a pension. It's in the government's interest for people to put money into a pension, as this reduces the burden on the state for retirees. So the main incentive is that you can get tax back on contributions to a pension. Depending on what tax bracket you're in, this can either be 20% or 40%. So rather than that 20 or 40% going to the tax person, you basically get to put that money into a pension fund, so you keep it, albeit for a later age. There is an upper limit of how much you can contribute to your pension tax-free, and this is dependent on your age. So as you can see here, for example, I would be able to contribute 15% to my salary on an annual basis, whereas Steve, being 62, can contribute up to 40% of his salary to his pension. So let's say, for example, you're in the high tax bracket, and a portion of your salary, let's say, is €1,000. So on that €1,000, you would pay 40% tax, which is €400. If you don't contribute to a pension, you basically get €600 into your pocket. However, if you do contribute to a pension, you're able to get that tax back and put that money straight into the pension. So in this example, you basically get the €600 plus the €400 tax straight into your pension. The value to you overall is €1,000 into your pension fund, rather than €600 cash into your bank account straight away. The downside of this is that you don't have €600 in your account, so your net pay will reduce by €600. But if you're patient, you'll have more money in your account by the time you retire. And that €1,000 will grow, so it'll be worth significantly more when you're older.
So in a nutshell, your choice is pretty simple. What you need to do is either choose to take €600 now, or forego that €600 and have €1,000 plus interest down the road.
One thing to note is the benefit of an employer matching a pension as well as the tax incentives combined. I'm just going to run through a quick example to show you why this is a great deal. Some companies offer matching pension contributions, as we previously mentioned. So let's say that I put 5% into a pension plan and my company matches this exactly and also puts another 5% into the pension plan. So let's say 5% of my salary is €250. And my company has agreed to match this and also contributes €250 to my pension fund. So overall, I am contributing €500 to my pension fund alongside my company. With the tax incentives, however, I'm not actually contributing that €250 fully. As mentioned before, I'll get tax relief on this €250. So essentially, I'm only actually losing €150 from my net pay. So by only losing €150 from my net pay, I actually get €500 into my pension fund. So when combining the employer contribution as well as the tax incentives, you can actually get a lot into your pension fund without actually losing too much money from your net pay.
The second big tax incentive of investing in a pension is that the growth of that pension is tax-free. This is in contrast to, say, stocks, for example, where you are charged capital gains tax at a 33% rate for every gain that you make. Growth in a pension fund is tax-free. Similarly, if you take the example of an ETF, where you have to deal with the deemed disposal rule every 8 years and get taxed at 41%, again, you avoid this through investing in a pension. This means that your funds grow consistently over a 30, 40, 50-year period, and compound interest really works its magic.
The third tax incentive is that you can take a tax-free lump sum on retirement of 25% of your retirement account value, up to a max of €200,000. One thing to note is that you will have to pay tax on your pension drawdowns when you retire. This will likely be lower than what you would have paid on this amount whilst you were working. Say for example, you were earning €60,000 when you're making your pension contributions, you probably would have been taxed at 40% in the higher bracket. However, in your pension, if you're only withdrawing around €30,000, you're only going to pay 20% tax on your individual withdrawals.
So pensions. Definitely not the sexiest form of investing out there, but if you can think that far ahead, especially if your employer has agreed to match pension contributions, there's certainly some strong tax incentives to doing so.
If you have any specific questions around pensions, please let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.
Annual management